to Quarantine Life, hosted by your hosts of Gov's Comedy Club radio shows, well, except for today, because I'm not one of them. Who am I, and what on earth am I doing here? If you don't know, my name is Ken Pichelle. I'm a friend of Gov's. I'll babble about that some more in a little bit. Killing some background until I see myself live on Facebook here. I grew up in Connecticut, near where the Port Jefferson ferry lands in Bridgeport, not far from there. I went to college outside of Albany, and then later I went to UAB, that's Alabama Birmingham. Go Blazers. UAB, let's go Big Green. As a result of this, I was in 93 to North Carolina in 98. As a result, my accent is lost somewhere in between North and South. It really goes either way at different times. So, I currently am in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina Research Triangle area, and I'm going to click on Facebook to see that I'm sideways. Why am I sideways? I don't know if this is going to fix this, but I guess I'm going to try. Let's see if I'm that way. We want me to go this way. No earthly idea if this is going to work, but we'll try it. We'll see if this in 2 to 3 minutes from now turns me right side up. Quick message here. Apologies. All right, well, we'll see if that takes care of things in a minute. So, while we wait to see if turning my camera straightens me out, hey, getting back to why are you doing a quarantine life? You don't host the Gov show. Well, touche, Carly Shay, for those of you with kids from the iCarly era. Really, I'm just here to fill a spot and give a break to the Govs hosts so they don't have to do an extra one. Score, I see on Facebook that I have turned properly, so that's awesome. So yeah, I'm just filling in a spot, giving a break to somebody else to not have to do an extra one. Taking one for the team, if you will. After all, though I may not have been there or done that, I do have the t-shirt. I mean, I've got the t-shirt. I've got the t-shirt multiply. I've got the t-shirt with my name on the back in some funky Star Wars looking lettering, thanks to Gina and Tony and Sally and Eric and the whole crew at Gov's Comedy Club Radio. So I think that safely at this point I can pause and say, hey Don, I'm on TV! I'm on TV! Tony, I'm on television! Okay, if you watch Knock 'em Dead, that will make sense to you. If you don't, well, you should watch Knock 'em Dead. Let me mute my Facebook sound so I can jump into the comment stream, because I ain't gonna make this an hour unless there is some interaction. Oh wow, I have a visitor. Not really. I'm not sideways anymore, but thanks, I'm fixed. Thanks, that was
a delayed text that I got.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks for checking on me. That is Mrs. Pichelle, April from A New Day, Mrs. Adman from Knock 'em Dead. You know, it depends. She wears different hats. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. We run down and do the shout outs. Hey, Andy, thanks for joining. I'm no longer sideways, thankfully. Hey, Sally and Taz. Hey, Jeff. All right. It looks like, hey, Danielle, I will come back to my regularly scheduled programming. So I'm going to start with a little bit of story time. Again, what am I doing here? How did I get here? Let me make sure I didn't skip. Nope. Okay, here we are. So, how did I get here? Not really surprisingly, the answer simply is it's a result of Billy Joel music. Sorry, I'm going to get that there. Now, my laptop is totally out of the way. Sorry about that. So, Billy Joel music is really the simple answer. There is a radio show called Songs from the Attic, Sunday mornings at 10 on 87.7 FM WVOA Syracuse. And the hosts, Teddy and Melissa Boileau, excuse me a moment, shout out, Teddy Boileau, big fan. I'm a big fan of Teddy's. Anyway, if you don't know what that means, you should watch Songs from the Attic on Sundays. Anywho, Teddy and Melissa are how I met Tony and Sally. And then I started watching Knock 'em Dead comedy radio show on weekday mornings. Also through Teddy and Melissa, it happens to be how I met Joe DeJesu when he did a benefit show for their show. Like he did a gig and contributed funds in support of their show, and also for their Live from Long Island broadcast, he led a jam session. Now this was a good while before Jam, which is his current Govs Comedy Club radio show, Jam, Joe's Acoustic Mondays. I totally got into his Instant Gratification album at that time. Shout out to Sally, the DeJesu family, and track 6, Still Mine. Also, shout out to Todd, Marianne, Gigi, and track 7, Putting Myself Together. More recently, actually that Instant Gratification album very recently is finally all cleared up on your typical social media music outlets. And much more recently, he has released some singles that... Again, I was a fan before I got to know him at all. I love his music. It's awesome. Newer singles are Cry, Miss Maybe, and coming in 8 days, Another Sacrifice. Really, this is self-serving to get you to join into requesting on Jam for Joe to play more of his originals, which he has been doing, and he's very humble. He doesn't overdo his originals, but the crowd loves them. So that's a little more Govs connection for me. One more little backstory kind of thing. Also through Teddy and Melissa, I connected with a different Joe. Goes by the performing artist name Just Joe. His name is Joe Altier. He's in the Syracuse area. He did a song that I wrote back in Cleveland, which, thank you Tony, Sally, and Eric, has been played on the Knock 'em Dead comedy radio show, and even has served me for a parody of my own song as an ad for Knock 'em Dead Comedies back in the 80s murder mystery show from a while back. Knock 'em Dead Comedy. That brings me back to Govs. You know I have lots of notes here. I'm trying not to read them, but I didn't know what in the hee-hay I was going to do for an hour. So hopefully I'm going to try to dive into the comments somewhere along the way. Pardon me for just glancing over here a little bit. Hey Joan, hey Joe, hey Don, hey Rich. Yes, Don, I'm excited. I'm on TV. Okay, so me and Govs. Again, what am I doing here? So I started watching Knock 'em Dead Comedy, and somehow, eventually, I started doing ads. I'm really not sure how or why. It's just kind of something that happened. It kind of was again, providing a break for the hosts in the middle of their 2 hours of that. And it's also a fun break for me in the middle of my work day to just do something fun and silly and hopefully helpful to somebody else. I do work from home regularly. I'll get into that a little bit later, but I do work from home regularly, pre-quarantine for quite a while. So on Knock 'em Dead, I guess I go by admin. I also go by Dr. Ken, not a real doctor. I'll get into that later on too. Maybe somebody remind me if I get stuck with stuff to do. however deep into this, there's the fun little story about not a real doctor. But moving on Govs, besides Knock 'em Dead Comedy, I have been fortunate enough to be able to do some ads on some other shows. First place after Knock 'em Dead, I do believe that I got to do ads, was on Three's Company. Hold on tight. We're going to have to see if I get to do Three's Company's ads again and who the sponsors will be, but hopefully that's out there in the future somewhere. Also on Limo Zoom. Oh, that's a little current, my bad. Limo Talk with Graz. He also has let me do an ad. Jam, you'll find me on Jam a lot. I haven't done any ads, but you can always find me in the comment stream there requesting Instant Gratification, track 6, Still Mine. Had to go deep to the archives thinking about what else I've wound up doing on Govs. On Comedians on Football, I have received a fake phone call from host Steve Belanger, and I even have still photos that totally make it look like we were actually on the phone together. So that was probably more fun for me than it was for you. Sorry, but I got a kick out of that. It was fun. And then Pasusu. Put up, shut up, or stand up. Or you might say, Pususu. Yeah, that's right. It's actually me singing the Pususu parody song. Pususu. Yeah. Not really sure how that happened, but it did. Oh my goodness. I have comments. Comedic murder comments from Andy. I've kind of got myself a little bit of an agenda here, following Graz's lead on that. So I've got an agenda that I'm following along with. Hi, Elizabeth. And yeah, Andy, we'll get back to a comedic murder topic. It's in the notes here. So finally, a little bit of a serious turn here. Still about me and Govs, and that is a new day. So all I'm going to say first about this is take a chance, dream a dream, do something that you just feel like going for it. So here's what I'm talking about here. So I think I mentioned I write songs. Shout out to Tony, Sally, and Eric for playing quite a few of them on the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show. My writing includes worship songs. And so when I heard that a new day was going to start, I really, out of the blue, messaged Pastor Joaquin, introduced myself, sent a song that I thought might be a good fit to maybe play on their show sometime. And he let me know that he and his wife, Pastor Sharon, wanted to use it for the show's theme song. And they felt as if the song had been written for the show, which time-wise certainly was not the case. It had been written about 10 years earlier. And now it's the theme song for A New Day. It's called Every Morning. I am honored and blessed that that song is such a blessing to them. It's really been great. Sorry, I'm scrolling some notes here. You just never know what's going to happen if you don't ask somebody and go for it. So I'm gonna pause here and glance into the comments. So, the excitement of reading that Joe DeJesu is going to play one of my originals on Jam sometime. I am jacked about that. Oh yes. Sorry, reading a comment here. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I digress. Let me circle back, focus back here. Hi, Elizabeth. I don't know if I said hi, but hi. So back to A New Day. So after connecting with Pastor Joaquin and giving the okay, and thank goodness, thank goodness Facebook doesn't care about my music. Facebook does not have any algorithms that recognize my music. It's like free and clear. You need it for something? Go ahead. So once every morning became the theme song for A New Day. Soon after that, Pastors Joaquin and Sharon asked my wife and I if we'd be interested to appear on A New Day. So we said absolutely. We touched base ahead of time. We actually got on the phone and we talked for a little over 2 hours like we had been old friends. I mean, we literally only stopped around 2 hours, kind of out of unknowing courtesy to each other. Like, if any one of the four of us had said, "Are you good to talk another hour?" we might have talked 3. I mean, it was just great. It's been great getting to know them. We're honored to have been guests twice now on A New Day. Shout out to Pastors Joaquin and Sharon for the second time recently featuring my newest song, Dissipate. And my wife and I really just look forward to continuing to get to know Pastors Joaquin and Sharon and hopefully guesting on A New Day some in the future. All right, let me pause for a sponsor break here. If you have watched Knock 'em Dead comedy for any length of time, I don't know, somewhere in the last year, you are looking at the Cozy Koozie Cuzzy from Knock 'em Dead comedy. Quick side note, teespring.com. Search GovsRadio. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is for your... I'm looking, there it is. Oh, it's bright. For your Gov swag. Teespring.com. T-shirts, socks, maybe still towels, mugs, lots of great stuff. Okay, so focusing into a little quarantine life topics now. I have to be really honest and start out by saying that work life really isn't very different at all for me. Reason being, I work from home. I've been doing this since late in 2018. I also work exclusively with one company. I'm half Italian, so I'm talking with my hands a little bit. So I work exclusively with one company and almost entirely with a group of people that are in England. So I honestly was already used to the long distance remote working setup. So I am a biostatistician. And that's really just bio on the front of statistician. It's just a long word that means that I do data analysis in medical research. Some nuggets about the current situation. I have not personally worked on anything, potential treatments or anything, or vaccines for COVID-19. I did, however, a fun fact, I guess, random nugget, I did work for 3.5 years when there was an office in Durham, North Carolina here at Gilead Sciences. And their name has been in the news very recently with some hopefully promising treatment results to combat COVID-19. So it's certainly early in all of that. But hopefully there will be some fruit and some benefit to come from that. So I want to pause and actually throw in a few thoughts for offering up some working from home tips. And I've actually read about it a little bit as it's been popping up online some. And really, Nothing I'm going to say wouldn't be in a list that you'd see, but I'm going to speak of them from experience because not just since November 2018, but for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, a while back, I had also worked from home previously. So my biggest work from home tip is to take breaks during the day. Get up and walk. Don't just sit in one place. My posture's probably not that great right now. I'm 51. Ergonomics, if you're at a desk all day, are a serious thing. And when you work from home, if you have the opportunity, you could just lock in and just sit all hunched up, however, for hours upon hours. There was a point, the lowest point, and I mean, this was not anything super serious, thankfully, but I mean, the lowest point hours-wise and medically for me when I was working some 12, 13, 14-hour days, not for a huge long period of time, but during that time period, I was sitting on my tail in the chair and just not getting up and taking breaks often enough, and literally like was recognizing some swelling in my ankles, which was kind of just random and not a great happening. So especially in this time, I have zero recommendations for how to make things happen with younger kids in the house and, homeschooling, or, if you weren't homeschooling your kids, but they're at home learning now. I don't have experience to speak to that, unfortunately, except this next thing maybe applies to it as much as you can. Setting a schedule and doing everything that you can to stick to it just helps you maintain a little more consistency and sanity. And then my last work from home tip is to definitely still connect with your colleagues. I mean, if it was during the day, you'd, have the water cooler talk in the break room or whatever. You'd go get coffee, you'd get up and walk however far down in your office and go talk to somebody else. So continue to connect like that. You can instant message some during the day with somebody. You can talk on an audio Skype about how hopeful you are that we don't have any video Skype meetings this week, because those we didn't have that many of, and everybody loves Zoom now that we're all working in a quarantine kind of setting. So now we're having hey, let's all get together face to face and talk about what we're doing. So yeah, that's a treat. I guess if for any reason you actually wanted to ask me anything more about working from home, for whatever reason, shoot me a message. Be happy to dialogue about it. So let's see. So more of what's going on in quarantine life here. In the mornings, I have been trying to discipline myself a little bit more for some Bible study time, and for the first time in my life, even some journaling. So Eric, Danielle, I guess journaling and also exercise, those are my Chick Chat Wednesday accountability and encouragement activities. So that's my mornings. I'm a morning person. I'm usually up quite ahead of anybody else in the house, which is my wife and our college son, who was away at school and is home now. So I've got quite a few hours to myself in the morning, being a morning person, and them not. So I try and get up and do a little bit for myself and get started early in my workday. Again, I said I work with England, so I mean, I feel like I'm rocking it being at my desk by 7 o'clock or whatever, and I'm like, oh crud, they've done so much already today. So sometimes I feel like I'm early and there's already a lot happening there. Evenings, and I don't know if I said this, but of course we're on weekdays here. So evenings with the fam, we're trying to be good and stay social distance and not go places we don't need to go. We've got some routine TV shows that we watch together, a little bit of Netflix. We happen to be we've always watched NCIS LA and New Orleans. We never had watched original NCIS. So we started that, I don't know how long ago, but that was a good one to just kick off around this time because there's like dang 17 seasons of that or whatever. So, I guess that's certainly our go-to on Netflix. We got a couple of other shows we watch sometimes. One that we watched a long time ago, maybe for a Netflix recommendation, we really enjoyed Longmire. That one was pretty cool. We're kind of in the police show, kind of little bit of a whodunit type fans, I suppose. So Longmire was a favorite of mine. Also, what was the other one called? It was called Shooter. That was another pretty cool one. Not as long of a show in terms of, I don't even know how many seasons it was, but enjoyed those. So other activities, been doing a little bit of reading. I recently got a new songwriting book. I'm also trying to do a little bit of songwriting, just to blab on that for a moment. I can barely sing and play enough to convey my ideas, so I have to get to a point of, all right, do I like this song enough to pay someone to do a project and record it for me? So I'm doing that intermittently as time and budget for that permit. Another evening recommendation is exercise if you can somewhere. I've got a treadmill and an elliptical. I get a decent amount of exercise done while watching my favorite Govs Comedy Club radio show. So that's always an option, to just be walking and not sitting while watching any of the many excellent Govs Comedy Club radio shows that are out there 7 days a week. We have a question from Sally in the Facebook. How many kids do we have and their ages? So we have one at home. Crud, I'm going to have to do math. The one at home is 20. He will be done with sophomore year of college by Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week right here. Then goodness, what year is it? It is 2020. Our oldest, I have two stepsons. Our oldest is going to be 37 and our middle is going to be 34. They are both married. They each have a child, and they are, one of those grandkids just turned 7 and the other is gonna turn 7 in a couple more months here. And then my oldest stepson has a former stepson who he is now adopted. So that grandson of mine and my wife's, he is gonna be 18 this summer. And so that puts him as like about 2.5 years apart from our son. So, they had fun with that quite a few now years back when they got married. Our son was like, you can call me uncle now. And of course, the grandson was like, yeah, no. So, Taz, I have no idea what Columbo means. Sally also put in the comments, how many instruments do I play? I only play piano, and it's very basic. It's very blocky. I do know how to voice lead, so I don't have to move my hands all around, but I can't play any like flowing hand sort of stuff. So, let's see. Shout out to my own music. I have a friend in Illinois who is a piano teacher, who is my go-to person for an instrumental piano solo of any of my songs. And she recently, Dissipate, the one that was on A New Day not long ago. She recently did this week a piano solo instrumental version of that I mean, is just doggone pretty. I mean, ignoring the fact that I wrote the song, what she did with it, it's just quite pretty. But very, very basic piano. Getting back to Sally's question, that is it for me. At some point in life, I tried to play something on guitar. I can play, those little bits of Smoke on the Water. There's probably some thrash metal thing that I could play for a couple of weeks in the 80s. I don't know if you've ever heard of a band called The Church. They are an Australian band that was pretty big in the later 80s. And they have a song called Reptile, and I could play the little riff in that for 30 seconds at one point, but that was it. Columbo is a whodunit. Yes, okay, got it. I now get the Columbo context there. Thank you, Taz. Let's see, where are we? So, okay, I see where I'm at there. I'm pretty impressed that I've made it to, a little bit after 2:30 here, and I'm pretty darn excited in fear of rustiness. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am so happy to be able to announce to you that it is ad time. It really, really is ad time. It's unbelievable. I don't even know how this is happening, that I get to do it. I'm stalling because I got two screens on here and I got to move this around, but I've been cleared to do the ads, and I'm kind of excited about that. So for fun, I'm going to take the opportunity first, a little bit shorter, though I'm not pressed for time. I'm really killing time, if anything, here. But just to let you know, on Thursday nights, if you were to, and you should, watch Limo Talk with Graz and Bobby Inns, GothamGoldGrass.com, Inns41.com, and a whole host of other fine hosts. A whole host of hosts. And shout out to Mike O'Toole for making all of this stuff happen in this crazy time, by the way. He's also, he made Limo Talk into Limo Zoom. So I'm just going to bust into the ad. Limo Talk, when it's on, it is brought to you by Gotham Gold Limousines. Gotham Gold Limousines is family owned and operated, starting by Anthony Graziday in his sister's basement, with no cars and just an old fax machine and a cricket infestation. You heard that right, a cricket infestation. Through years of hard work and a loyal customer base, Gotham Gold Limousines has grown to 10 vehicles and a party bus. Gotham Gold Limousines is the answer for any and all your transportation needs, including corporate rides, wine tours, beer tours, and sporting events transport. For more information and testimonials, check out Gotham Gold Limousines at GothamGoldGraz.com. That's GothamGoldGraz.com. 516-398-9678. That's 516-398-9678. Gotham Gold Limousines is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and always just a call or click away. And I will tack on that I believe in this time, the last I heard from Graz, he is doing package and delivery type transport at this time. I don't think he's doing any person transport. Hopefully that will be soon to change. I did this once by heart, driving down the road. Freakishly managed it. I needed to be spotted only on the phone numbers, I guess. It's been a while. I feel rusty. I've got the notes here. I might need this. I love the Knock 'em Dead ads. Let's hit 'em, boys and girls. The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show is brought to you by Bella Vista Pizza. Bella Vista Pizza for the best pizza in the whole wide world. Check out Bella Vista Pizza. I believe this information is still accurate. Check out their Facebook or websites and see what they have. But last check that I had, in these trying times, Bella Vista Pizza and Pasta does remain open. Not sure the hours. It might have been late morning into the nighttime. They are taking every precaution to keep everyone healthy and safe. Bella Vista is offering curbside pickup. Again, all this is last I knew. Check them out. I'll give you the contact information in a moment. Hopefully they are still offering curbside pickup. Call them when you arrive and they'll bring it out to you. At last knowledge, in accordance with the state's mandate, the dining room is closed until further notice. Again, hopefully that can change soon. For delivery customers, they were and hopefully are offering a drop-off service, credit card only. They'll call you when your order is being dropped at your door. They can also be found with their partners at DoorDash and at Uber Eats for additional services. A while back, they had a Facebook post that offered a discount, so go to their Facebook and look for that. Their Facebook is Bella Vista Pizza and Pasta. That's Bella Vista Pizza and Pasta on Facebook. On Instagram, at Bella Vista Pizza LI. That's at Bella Vista Pizza LI on Instagram. Physically, they are, it's Italian, folks. Bella Vista, a beautiful site, a beautiful view. Located at 154 Minetto Hill Road in Plainview. That's 154 Minetto Hill Road in Plainview. 516-433-4464. That's 516-433-4464. BellaVistaPizza.com. Bambinos, check them out today. The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Gina Congemi Coffin. Gina Congemi Coffin, licensed real estate agent with Signature Premier Properties. That's Gina Congemi Coffin, licensed real estate agent with Signature Premier Properties. 631-495-7696. That's 631-495-7696. Do you know what happens when you work with Gina? Because, well, I've got it here and I'm going to tell you. When you work with Gina, you tap into the collective experience of the best, most experienced realtors on Long Island. Contact Gina today to discuss how Signature Premier Properties and Gina can help you market and sell your property successfully or find your perfect home. More information about Gina's listings can be found at signaturepremier.com. That's signaturepremier.com. Uh-oh, I'm alone. Help me here, people. Get in those comments. List your house with Gina, and she will work so hard for you and sell your house so fast that it will make your head spin. It will make your head spin. I still have not figured out how to spin my head without spinning my chair. So, I'm going to do this one on a serious note and take a pause. I didn't get this printed. Ooh, let me keep it out of the thing. This is about the current situation. This is from Gov's Comedy Club Radio. Right now, in this pandemic, with people and businesses hurting until they're able to reopen fully and recognizing that even after that, it's going to take some time, Gov's Comedy Club Radio and Gov's Comedy Clubs are just encouraging everyone to really be embracing all Long Island businesses that you know are open and struggling. And very important part here, if you are a Long Island business that is struggling, please leave a message with your hours of operation and any specific instructions that you would have, like curbside deliveries or website orders. Please leave a message either on the Facebook to Gov's Comedy Club Radio or I think, I'm sorry I don't have this ready. Oh, it's going to be right here. I do believe it's going to be to the GovsRadio at optimum.net email or a Facebook message. And when I mentioned the message about hours of operation and specific instructions, also want to shout out Felix from Let's Eat Long Island, and also he's doing his COVID Iron Chef show during this time. I just want to point out that Felix has been very proactive in his shows, and I even think in other Gov shows, putting information in the comments about businesses that are open. A lot of them, maybe not all, but many of them who have been guests on Let's Eat Long Island. Felix is sharing the information about who is open and who you can go support with takeout, pickup food. So again, if you are a business on the island that would like to get some word out, please contact, again, the Facebook message to Gov's Comedy Club Radio or GovsRadio at optimum.net via email. Just realize that if you've not watched the Knock 'em Dead comedy show, you probably wonder what in the heck I've got these little paper things for. Well, when I normally read the ads after I'm done and Tony's reading ads, I have little signs to be quiet and just wave in the background because, well, it's just fun, people. It's just fun. So, let's see where we're going next. I think we're going silly next. Yes, let's go back to silly. This should be fun. Returning to our ads, which I can't wait for a full return to. And, of course, the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show is brought to you by Knock 'em Dead Comedy. Knock 'em Dead Comedy for the funniest murder mysteries in the whole wide world, where you know, if you've watched, I offer you the perpetual disclaimer that these are by design comedic murder mysteries, 100% real comedy and mystery, 100% comedic murder. Did I say that right? Because sometimes I do it wrong. I think that was right. 100% real comedy and mystery, 100% comedic murder. No humans or animals are harmed in the making, yada, yada, yada. You can see I'm stumped because I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. This is going to be fun. Do you want to see a boring murder mystery where some crusty old pea pants says, "There's been a murder. There's been a murder in the... Ethel, one moment. No, it's not Don Sill. It's that admin. Your Don Sill fixation. Good gracious, Ethel. Pasusu is on tonight at 7 o'clock. You will get your Don Sill fix for the week. I know. Anyway, Ethel, I'm trying to help with the ads here. No, Tony, Sally, and Eric aren't there either. It's just that ad man guy. Remember the guy whose car we magically wound up in the back seat of riding down the road in North Carolina? Yeah, it's that guy. Oh yeah. There's been a murder in the parking lot of some character you've never met. Pops? Wow. Goodness, no. You don't want to see the other guy's murder mystery. You want the full experience. You want to meet and hang out with the character who's going to ultimately and soon comedically die, meeting that comedic demise as you see that comedic murder happen right before your eyes. Where's Andy? He's not here. He'll watch it back later. Always asking me for, maybe a non-comedic murder, but again, people, it's comedy. He's only comedically asking that. So, back to the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Murder Mystery shows, which hopefully will be coming your way soon. You get the full experience of meeting and hanging out with that character who will meet their comedic demise right before your eyes as you laugh, sing, and dance as a part of the action at a Knock 'em Dead Comedy Murder Mystery show. On Instagram, follow at Knock 'em Dead Comedy. That's at Knock 'em Dead Comedy on Instagram. For upcoming show dates, check out knockemdeadcomedy.com/show dates. That's knockemdeadcomedy.com/show dates. On Facebook, go to that little box at the top of your screen, type in Knock 'em Dead Comedy, and hit enter. I mean, it can't get any simpler than that. I can't help much beyond that. Guest on the right side of the picture, Sally, Tony, back to you. We don't have that. Well, thank you, Dr. Ken. Shows coming up at the Governor's Comedy Clubs. Goodness, please let the shows at Governor's Comedy Clubs please return as soon as possible. You have got Governors in Levittown. You have got the Brokerage in Belmore. You have got McGuire's in Bohemia. Funny thing, I don't even know what show it is. Is it the middle? I mean, I didn't even watch the show. I didn't even realize that I was like playing along to some little kid's whispering thing. But now that I knew it, I did the head down, Levittown, Belmore, Bohemia. Shout out to some fine guests from the past. I got more paper here. We're going to go through it. One day, Knock'em Dead Comedy will get back to the Moose Lodge. They'll also get back to 317 Main and KDC at KOC, the Knights of Columbus Hall. We already talked about Teespring. We don't want to miss that. I'm not leaving yet, but when I do, it's going to be deuces. Booyah! Shout out to friend of Govs, DJ D Love. What else are in these? No, these are tough notes to do alone. Hey, Don Sill. So besides Facebook Live, where else can we see you all? On TV? You're on TV? Boxcast? Roku? YouTube? You name it. There's all these kinds of ways. I don't even know the whole list now. There's so many of them now. There's like Zoom things, and there's a lot. Don't forget your Govs swag, as I mentioned earlier. Teespring.com. Sometimes it just helps to space it out. We don't know why. Put that in the search bar. No, put that in the internet website bar. And in the search bar, search GovsRadio. And again, that is for your Govs swag. I don't know who's never seen that before and thought it was silly or stupid, but dang, have I missed the ads. And boy, did I enjoy that. So I hope that you did too. Returning from the ads to my notes, quarantine life, weekends. So big. Let me pause and look in the comments here. Okay, so yes, it is the middle. Okay, great. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Taz, for echoing Moose Lodge. Taz, true story, Mr. Sill. Ethel has a thing for you. There is no doubt about that. Yep. Thanks for the head spin. Hey, Ari. Yes, support each other in this time. Absolutely. Personally, professionally, every way possible. So returning to quarantine life. Weekends for me. Sure as heck didn't think I'd be doing a quarantine life, but again, I hope you've enjoyed this. I've had a blast. Typical weekend for me on Saturday mornings, I facilitate a men's prayer group. Facilitate because I don't really lead it. Just get together with a group of guys during quarantine times here. We're each at home on our own. For me, that's usually outside on a balcony. Just kind of relaxing, getting a little bit of nature. I mean, we have a townhome, and we actually have balconies on the front and back of the middle floor of 3 floors. And so that's another working from home sanity thing. Just walk outside, whatever door you have to go out. If you're walking out on your front porch to your sidewalk, if you've got a balcony, a deck or something, get the heck outside and just get into some fresh air instead of being all closed up in the house all day. So early Saturday morning, I have my men's prayer group. Every other Saturday, 11, a new day, folks. Every other Saturday at 11 here on Gov's Comedy Club Radio. And then we try to get out, go for a walk, maybe go for a drive, maybe go out. One thing we've done is gone out riding around for a while, deciding where we're going to pick up some food, driving through and getting some food and having some food for a couple of days. So I think we're on tap to do that in a little bit here. In this Zoom day and age, shout out and thanks to Graz. There was one time I got to just join into the limo Zoom one night and just hang with them for a little bit, just chatting. That was cool. Appreciate that. Outside of Govs, just life Zoom things. The Songs from the Attic radio show that I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast. We've been doing a guy's Zoom with about 5 or 6 of us for a couple of weeks now. That's a lot of fun because, again, with Govs, with that whole crew of friends that I have, I would know no one if it weren't for these comment streams. I mean, the connection in the comment streams and getting to meet people is just so fun and such a huge thing of technology. One of the guys in that Songs from the Attic Zoom, he's in Illinois. And so he and I are kind of the out-of-staters. Everybody else knows each other. Most of you have seen each other, know each other on the island. So no small thing. I don't take for granted at all the opportunity to be connected online, meeting people in Zoom, or for me now meeting people, getting on the screen behind Knock 'em Dead, doing the ads through Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. Another random life thing, wound up being on a Zoom call with about 15 or more guys from my college years a while ago. That was pretty fun. Some of them I'm in touch with more than others, so it was really cool to just see everybody a bit. Kind of makes you think, why didn't we do this more often with people that are, all over the country? Why aren't we catching up with each other more often like that? Glancing back at the comments here, again, thank you, Joan. Thank you, Taz. And Sally has noted that I will be on Knock 'em Dead Comedy this coming Tuesday. That is my goal. All I got to do is hope that I don't have meetings all through my stinking lunch hour, which has been, I think I was looking wide open so far this Tuesday, so I can work out those times with Sally and Tony, and love to get popping in there. Absolutely, Joan. The comment stream keeps us all connected here. All the musicians I met, really, besides the Songs from the Attic, Teddy and Melissa Syracuse show, met even more people kind of cross meeting in Mike Del Judas's live shows. Got to drop a shout out to JD Leonard, who's been on Jam. He's got an amazing album called Just Drive that you should check out. Don Michael Prager, Donnie Vapor, and Robin Eve been on Knock 'em Dead plenty of times. Other awesome musicians in the island. I have so many of you to meet and hang out with when I finally get my tail up there. So, peeking in the comments here again. Yes, Ari, this situation does help to appreciate those relationships. I think you might mean the ones that are local to you, and I definitely appreciate the ones that they're all distant for me right now, but I appreciate everyone that I have met through all of this. Goodness, I could actually be running out of time here, so I'm going to do the important orders of business before I close it out. I didn't know if I was going to make an hour. Thanks for bringing me along in the comments here. Hey, Gina, you need to go back and enjoy your ad. So anyway, last thing that I have to plug here is what's coming up on Gov's Comedy Club Radio. That says I'm not sure, but that's old because I am sure. I checked with Tom Galati today at 5:30 this evening. Check in with Tom. He will be on his Saturday, every other Saturday, but it is on tonight, 5:30, Cruising the Pike, Cars and Comedy with host Tom Galati. At 7 o'clock this evening, check out Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up, lovingly known as Pasusu. That's Pasusu, or Pasusu. Ooh, ooh. It is fun to say the word. It feels so good when you just say the word. Okay, I'm not singing any more than that. Pasusu with your host, Don Sill, featuring Benny the Gagoots Rizzuti, and, well, quite a cast of characters. Dr. Fedora will probably be there, I would have to guess. There's a whole bunch. Sunday, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, Quarantine Life, as I understand it, will be brought to you by Steve Squared. And I'd like to give a special shout out for Quarantine Life at 2 o'clock on Monday, featuring my pal Andy Plajanos, who, as I mentioned earlier, how did I write these notes? Andy, who is always comedically asking about seeing a non-comedic murder when I'm talking about comedic murders. And now you have context for that because you heard me do the Knock 'em Dead ad. So it's all comedy, kids. It is all comedy. And of course, the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show returns Monday at 11 a.m. It is 2:58. I think I'm gonna call this a win. Say thank you all so much for tuning in. Goodness, anyone who hung around with me through all of this. Everyone continue to be safe. Hopefully we will be able to do that with some increasingly open protocols or conduct of business and daily life, and getting in the direction of a return to normalcy. Again, I'm kind of surprised that I even got to do this. Thank you, Sally and Tony and Eric and Gina and everyone for giving me the opportunity to come on here and spout out for a while, talk about some serious things, talk about some silly things. You know I loved doing the ads again. Sorry, peeking at the comments. I'll get back and try and go through all the comments later on. Oh, hey, Greg. So I think that is a wrap for me. I got to figure out where the off button is on this. But again, thank you so much. I had a blast doing this. I hope you had half the fun that I did. And, well, I think it's probably most fitting to say I will see you in the comment streams and hopefully soon in the ads again. And as Sally noted, hopefully I will have a clear lunch schedule to also pop in on Knock 'em Dead this Tuesday. Thanks so much. I'm going to pick this up and try to figure out how to get rid of it. I guess we will close out with deuces. Booyah. Another shout out to DJ D Love. Everybody take care, and I will see y'all soon.